Hello everyone for a new video. So this video originally was going to be my last two videos of pretty much like this mod, what my experience was and all that. But based on yesterday, the amount of requests I've gotten for this video to be today's video, instead of me uploading the Uber fight today, was just too much. So too many people wanted this video instead to see how the build guide was, what I did to create this build. So I'm going to pretty much do this will be a two-part video. Because I'm going to go very detailed. I respected this whole entire character. I'll show you. I respected everything in here. Devotion tree is fully emptied out. The one that I left this right here. I'll show you this in a different video though. The gear is going to be part 2. And then part 1 is going to be devotion tree and skills. So I'll pretty much go through this if you're a level 1 character all the way to level 92. Like what order I did and everything. And pretty much what to focus on first. So pretty much this build did a lot more than I expected. Yesterday we pushed this build from 89 to a 92, clearing out Ubers like there were no problem at all. We did Shadow Realm 95 through 100. I won't say how that went. I'll let you guys watch the video for that one. I'll come out in 3 days since this one was supposed to be after that originally. But I have to flip the 2 videos for now. So pretty much this build absolutely destroyed Ubers. The amount of Ubers, yesterday we just spent non-stop going find like Brutus and all them, try to get Trinket, killing him right away. Then from there we went going straight to fight Bale and all them, absolutely destroyed them, no problem. This build I would highly recommend to anyone that wants a very strong build. It is very costly though. The end build of this, it does require a couple high runes, a couple rare socket items to find, a lot of rare items, so it's definitely a build you can build up to. And I also have in my stash right here all the items I used up to that point, so you can always see also. Pretty much the build did start off really slow for me. I was very respectful of the build. I was almost about to re-roll. I think yesterday I was planning on doing it, but then someone in my chat showed me like I completely forgot about augments, I forgot about components in this game. So once we put that on, we just steamrolled everything. In part 2 you'll see more like where I went to get every augment, where every component was, which piece I put in everything. I'll be a very, very detailed, but that'll be part 2. So for part 1, we're going to focus just on the skill tree and devotion points alone. So we'll do the devotion tree first, as I had to pull up a thing next to me so I remember the order I went in, because it's been a while since I've done this. So if you're starting out, going through normal, nightmare, hell and all that, this is the path I would recommend going for. Because you want to push the crown right here as fast as possible. This is your main damage dealer with your Hydras. So what I would do after you complete the first quest is go green and go spider. Then once you finish spider, this should be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th quest in the game. So by the time you beat Act 1 about, respect the green point and just take it off, because you won't need it anymore. And then you do the exact same thing for purple. So purple, and then owl. And then just rinse, repeat. Take owl, and just point this point out. So you can save that point. So pretty much that's an extra 4 levels. Because this one just jumped over, and then you get it back, and now we'll put it into crown. So pretty much from here, get out of this actually. From here, you're just gonna push crown. So you're just going to push crown, get this, and get on Hydra. Which we have to go back later actually because I don't have the skills done. I should have done skills first actually. We'll go back and do that. So then just finish this and crown. So once you finish the crown, you have a lot of options to go with. I went with everything that didn't require big items. Like I pretty much went everything that was pretty much a 3 to 4, I focus on those only first. So from here, you can either go with the quill. Pretty much, I just looked at too, what did I need at the point in the game? Since early on, your mana is going to be a huge problem for you. Once you get those points there, I would just maybe focus on, like, see, even like something like this is not good early on because there's no mana regeneration. No mana regeneration. Like all the stuff you're going to take late game is not mana regen. So that's why I would probably go this, maybe we'll probably go this way first, because this gives you 5% more mana, 60 more mana. This would help you the most. Well, so we're just going to put points here. then they'll give you a lantern open because you need this later anyway, the lantern. So then after that, you get this. This should help you with your mana problem. And then from there, we're going to put a point on blue, and we're going to hit up this way. Grab the sailor, and it'll give you your points in the blue, so then you can just repeat. And this should be the last time, I believe, that we're going to be doing this. Yep, there we go. Okay. Then from here, you have a lot of options. It's just how this helps you get your blue. So you're set on your blue, your red. Use the 3 main colors you're going to use. This one we'll use a little bit later, though. And then from here, just grab your easy ones. More defense, because you'll need defense with this character a lot. And give you some movement speed. Been a while since I know. Okay, Lotus. So yeah, because we are going to need 1 point here, actually. So we'll do this one more time, actually. I forgot about this. And a lot of times, too, I just look at, Lotus, and it requires 1 more skill point. Empty Throne doesn't require any. But what you have to look at too is what is it going to give you. This one, resistance, defense, resistance, and defense. So it's defense and resistance. If you go Lotus, mana, mana, mana again. This is probably going to be what you're going to need. And also too, if you need mana more, don't get the eel. You can save the eel for later. And just focus on this instead first. Or even like this one too. If you don't need the compass right away or the eel, go for Lotus, then go back for this. It depends really on your situation, what gear you have, if you're using gear from other characters or not. That's why it depends really if you want to go Lotus first, then back to these, or these to Lotus. So for Lotus, you're going to go here, and pick up Lotus, and repeat. And this was the last one. Then we're done here now for good. And then for having a Lotus now, your mana should be pretty well set now. And now it's just pretty much you're just filling in what you need at the time. And then what you have open that doesn't require you. So like we'll need the Scythe, which requires more yellow. So you look at also what gives you that, which is probably going to be the Lantern. Gives you 2 more, which goes to 4, which is what you need for this. So it depends too, you look at that too, like bounce from like the 2. And just take him solely as like between this one now. Yeah. You're going to look at too which one you need more. Throne is probably going to be the better option early on. Unless you need more mana regeneration, then you want to go this one. God, cat. It's crazy with the hair today. If you need more mana regen, I would go this one. If you don't need mana regen, just go for defense. Because you will start getting hit pretty hard later in the game, but your Hydras alone will clear everything for you. So the Devotion Tree is just extra stuff. It all really is. So yeah, by this point you should have the main stuff. So we'll do this one next. And we'll jump over here next. This will give you more mana. And then from here you have options to go with. Hawk. Oh. This one I forgot about earlier actually. If you want early attack rating, you can go over here. You'll need this eventually. This doesn't matter really early on. Your attack rating, your crit damage doesn't make a difference early. That's only for late game. Okay, those are the ones we missed. Okay, and then from here, it depends really if you really want the harp early for all the health it has, the resistance, the mana, you can go that early. Or you can skip it for now. And then focus on like the bigger items, like this will be later. These are 2 are later. You don't really need those for now. A lot of it too is just look at what it gives you. Like this one is more mana, more health, percentage in health, dexterity. This one's really good overall. So I would get Scythe right after you get these 2 done. Just go for Scythe. This should help your. At this point in the game, you should have no mana problems anymore. And then from here, we'll jump up to Scythe. Well, up to the heart. And then we'll go back and put the point on. Crown, Scythe, yep. And then after you finish this, we're going to jump up to Ulu. This one, pretty much at this point, we're going to be busting out mana. This will give you all your mana, pretty much. We'll do the points at the end. Then from here, if you want crazy damage, you can go those 2. Or you can jump down here, pick up here, this option, or this option. It depends. If you have Blizzard and Mystical Talrasha early, you can pick up this now, but you don't need this until then because your Blizzard goes here. And this should be your last one because you don't need the smite resistance right now. So we'll just go this way for now for pure damage. This gives you 100. This is 100% more damage. And don't pick up these two. I'll show you later the changes you can make if you do want the extra damage. You can take these. I'll show you what change to make for that. So like here, more damage, resistance, health, and more damage. You don't need this one, so skip this side and just focus like that. And then after that, you have 14 points left. So you're getting towards the end of hell right now. You can, if you want, get more damage by doing this. Just these two only. And then jump up here. And then hit this one for more damage. This is a full gather. The order that you get these three on top doesn't matter really. It just depends if you want this on your Blizzard early or not. Because then with the last 6 points, yep, we get it right. Great. You're gonna want to go here for armor. This will help you for surviving. So from this point, you have options. If you want to get, so this one right here, if you don't feel like you need this for the retaliation damage, you can end up putting the extra point down here for the more lightning or cold damage. Probably most likely you're on cold because cold is from Blizzard. So it's either if you want 100% more cold damage, put your last point here. Or if you don't think you need it, just put a point here. It depends really on your build, where you are in the game, but I just took this one for more retaliation damage. It's not a whole lot needed with this build. But then that's all your points throughout the game. So then with all your devotion done, your next thing, while you're leveling, is going to be this right here. So pretty much focus on, we don't need this anymore. Close this down. There we go. So pretty much focus on this alone. Is pretty much focus Sorceress first, and then focus on this by time you get probably to Nightmare mode. Sorceress will carry you through normal, no problem. So pretty much while you're leveling, I would say that is you can choose how you want to level. Because all you really care about is pushing this bar to Hydra. That's it. Push it to 40, put 1 point in Hydra, and it'll carry you. Because pretty much the way I leveled, it was horrible. Is I just leveled normal to, that's why I got the Inferno. Then I picked up this, then Meteor. Damn, it wasn't worth it. Normal Act 1 was horrible. It just took forever to get through it. So I would probably recommend is either go with Lightning if you want to have fun with the charge bolts, the static fields, the lightning, like all this kind of stuff could be probably a lot stronger. Or even going the cold route is probably better overall. I would not go with the fire route for leveling. It sucked in the beginning. So pretty much whatever route you choose, just put points in this to push it. If you do need mana regen early on, put 1 point here. But if you don't need this early on, you could just keep pushing this all the way to 40. So when you get to 40, respec out of whatever you started with, and dump 6 points in here. So when you put 6 points here, this will carry you through a big chunk of the game early on. And then after you put at least 6 points here, put 1 point on Warmth. This will help you through regeneration early on, since that's the huge problem with this build early on. And put at least 1 point in Enchant. Enchant will help boost the damage of the Hydras. And then after you put 1 point here on these ones, you can either choose, if you do want, if you want to teleport early on, you can grab teleport, but it does destroy your mana very quickly, so it's not needed. And teleport is not as good as it used to be with being able to go through walls. You can't go through walls anymore, or even up ledges, so it's a lot slower. And like this, you don't need it until super late game, so this is like one of the last things you'll grab. And like Blizzard 2, you don't need it until you actually have Talrasha. The armor is nice too. So pretty much what I recommend at this point is this maxed out helps a lot. So it's either if you think like you're dying a lot, grab these 3 points right here, 1 point each, and put 1 point here. This will boost your defense up. If you don't think you need it, you can push from 40 to 50 and put 1 point on each of these. and then max out these two together. But pretty much your main damage is going to be from the Hydra. And this is pretty much, this will boost your Hydra damage. All of them will boost your Hydra damage. This one's the most though. So then pretty much from here, you can choose really. This is about level, it's hard to say what level. This is maybe around 12, 15 or so. So from here, what I did is I pushed this thing all the way to 20. But every point I got is dumped right here just for the extra damage. And this will, this alone right here with low level gear will clear out the game for you. No problem. And then from here, I think I put this up to 5, I think, just for the regeneration, because early on this was horrible. You can respec this lower and move it over later again. But then from here, I just push this to 50. Then I put 1 point in each of these. And I just max this one next. Because this alone gives you an extra 484% more damage to the Hydras. And then Hydras, without any gear or anything, are hitting from 12 to 20,000. With just these two alone. So this will help out a lot, and this is without boosting it from this. So after you max out these two, I would just put 1 point on your shields. This alone will help you with defense so you won't die as often. And you can put your 1 point on teleport too, for teleporting around. So then after this point, you have options. You can max out this if you want to get more damage early on. Or if you think you're pretty good with this whole setup, you can jump over the Paladin. Because Paladin, the only thing you really want to do is you need to push this bar all the way to 50. And it's a long time to do. I think at level 30 or 35-ish, I think I was towards the end. Or so like, I just started Nightmare, I think. Or no. 30, 35, 37. I think it was a 37, actually. I started pushing this just because this alone was carrying me through the whole game, so there's no point in me upgrading this right now. You can put points in here if you want to early on, if you think you need the damage and attack rating. But if you don't think you need attack rating early on, just push this. Skip this for now, it's not worth it right now. All the way to 15 points. And then put 1 point in Vigor. This alone will help you clear out the game faster with the speed run. You don't really need to max out this Conviction until Hell mode, so you have plenty of time. That's why this doesn't matter. You can even stop here if you wanted to. Put 1 point here, then jump back to Sorceress and finish this tree. It just depends really on your situation. For me personally, I just kept pushing this. Here, I put 1 point when I got to here, just for the extra defense. And then I push this more. Then once I finish this bar, all the extra health you get from this, I just did this so I didn't have to do with it later. But you don't need to do this until you start Hell mode. So you can pretty much level up with the Sorceress through Nightmare. And then when you get to Hell, respec out and put 20 points here. And just make sure you take your point off of this, because you only can have one or the other. So once your tree looks like this, don't worry about this until Uber's time. You can either, if you want defense, max out Holy Shield. Or what, probably at that point in the game, you're going to want more damage. So in defense probably. So I would max out this first, enchant. Because this alone gives you a lot more attack rating, so you'll crit and more damage overall, so your Hydra's killing it faster. That's why you can do this earlier if you want to, instead of getting this early on. It just depends really on your situation with the game. And then from here, you do have options to play with. Because what I did while leveling, once I had this done, I early on just went for 20 points here. It probably wasn't needed, but I just put 20 points here early on. And jump back here. And then this is where I pretty much split my levels. So every time I level, I just put 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. And this is all I did for the next 19 levels, was just doing that. So I'll speed this up by doing this quickly. And then once you max all three of these out, this is where your build is pretty much close to the end game now. So this is where you have options to go with. Get your 1 point in Blizzard and Pathology. Just get your 1 point in both of these. 1 point is plenty for these skills right here. Warmth is good at 5 even. And then Paladin. This is where you can put your all your points in here. It depends really at this point. If you think you need the mana regen, leave this at 5. Or like for me, what I would do is at like late game when you get towards like the world boss farming and all that, is you can just take 1 point out of here, or you can even lower this down to 1, and just keep popping up Paladin, Smite. Because at this point in the game, like these, your only three Paladin skills. It's Smite, Holy Shield, and Conviction. And your the only points here is the top 3 are 1-pointers, 1-pointer, 1-pointers, max, 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 max. A lot of options too. If you don't need Smite at level 20, and you're okay at level 5 or 6 or so, you can actually put more points here if you need defense. It just depends really are you in the game. I honestly left this at level 5 for most of my game. I didn't start maxing this out, level 6 actually because it's even. I didn't start maxing this out actually until I got to close to 90. Or the high 80s when I was ready to start farming that. That's when I started doing that. Since my mana regen goes absolutely nuts on its own. So then that's when I started just maxing this out. But it's not needed to get these 3 maxed out early. So that's pretty much my tree at 92. Because from here, like my next level, all my points are gonna go probably 1 point here, and I'm just gonna max out Frozen Armor probably. And just start having points in here. Or I can even go Blizzard, but I don't need the damage from this. But also I might just go with this to get more armor, even though I don't really need it. And then when you have your devotion, this was talking about this earlier. This way I should have flipped it, but Hydra always goes here. And then Blizzard has to go here. That's the main 2 that matter. Everything else at this point doesn't matter what points you put them in, I believe. Like on this one, I would put it on Smite just because you Smite all the time, and then this will give you slows them down, so it helps you. Harp, you want to put on Conviction because that's your main thing you use, and this would also give you more resistance, mana regen per second, and this is always on too, so it does help. You don't have to use this. You can use Holy Shield instead. But I would not put on this because this does go away. But that's why I would use probably the Holy Shield or Conviction the most. And then the other one, there was one more somewhere. This is what I should have done the other way first. It might be it actually. So actually, yeah, that's it. Because it's the Blizzard, Smite, Conviction, and the main one, Hydra. Because we don't collect them. So that's pretty much the basic of the devotion tree slowly explained, and then the skills. If you follow that in the beginning, it'll help you get to where I'm at now, because that's the main path I took, and this character does everything no problem. You'll see with the next upcoming videos how the build does. We might show it also in the next part 2 on me killing Brutus really quick. Once I put the gear on and everything, so we had to do this first to get the get everything set up so we can actually get devotion points first. And then this one, it's very simple. I'll explain this part in the next video. This only takes like 2 seconds to do. So if you like this video, please put a comment below. If you have any questions about the build, if you need help with gearing questions, what other advices you can use, let me know. I can definitely jump on this, show you, help you join your game, give you stuff you needed. But if you like, hit the subscribe button below. And we're streaming this game on Twitch right now. That's where most of my questions came from for this game. And hope to see everyone on part 2. Thank you.